Double whammy, clandestine, flummoxed, sacrilege, incorrigible. These are all words used in a negative sense, and they're the ones I'm going to discuss in this video. Do keep watching, but first do subscribe to The English Nut on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram and Twitter. Thank you. This expression was suggested by my viewer Shalu Wadhwa. Double whammy. It's a twofold blow or setback, two unpleasant things that happen back to back, a situation that is bad in two different ways, a combination of two adverse forces. The farmers faced a double whammy of drought and pest infestation. It was a double whammy for Rupa, losing her son and her husband in the car accident. The aviation industry was hit by the double whammy of rising fuel prices and COVID-related travel restrictions. This summer we had to endure the double whammy of extreme temperatures and power rationing. Once in a while, double whammy is used in a positive way too. The dessert bar had a special offer on its double whammy strawberry vanilla ice cream cone. But ideally it should be used only to describe negative situations. The expression comes from the US, where whammy means an evil spell or curse. Whammy and double whammy were first used as sports slang in the 1930s and 40s. American cartoonist Al Capp popularized these expressions in his Lil Abner comic strip in the 1950s. This word was suggested by my viewer Ganpati Vishwanathan. Clandestine. It means surreptitious. It refers to actions conducted in secrecy, especially actions that are evil, illicit or unauthorized. It implies that the people involved in the act fear being found out. The members of the outlawed political party continue to hold clandestine meetings. When his clandestine affair with his colleague became public knowledge, he was forced to resign. He made a huge profit from the clandestine trade in animal skins. Here's a quote from Dan Brown, the author of the Da Vinci Code. Art historians agree that Da Vinci's paintings contain hidden levels of meaning that go well beneath the surface of the paint. Many scholars believe his work intentionally provides clues to a powerful secret, a secret that remains protected to this day by a clandestine brotherhood of which Da Vinci was a member. This is the favorite word of my viewer Super Cool Karni, flummoxed. It means totally confused, very puzzled, or utterly bewildered, perplexed or confounded. Flummoxed is the simple past tense and past participle of flummox. Doctors were flummoxed by the patient's symptoms. Not having prepared for the exam, I was flummoxed by the questions. The last-minute changes in the script left the actor flummoxed. According to American writer Bill Bryson, Germans are flummoxed by humor. The Swiss have no concept of fun. The Spanish think there is nothing at all ridiculous about eating dinner at midnight, and the Italians should never ever have been let in on the invention of the motor car. This is the favorite word of my viewer Shoram Kundu, sacrilege. This is a word that used to be reserved for describing blasphemous acts that disrespect holy traditions or objects, the violation of anything that is considered sacred, in other words, desecration. Nowadays, sacrilege is also used in a lighter, broader sense. In the older sense, you might use the word thus: in that country, the penalty for sacrilege is life imprisonment. The worshippers were shocked by this act of sacrilege. Here are examples of its more contemporary usage. In this stadium, it's sacrilege to cheer for the out-of-town team. It would be sacrilege to change the words of Tagore's poem. Drinking single malt whiskey on the rocks is considered sacrilege by connoisseurs. Having an alcoholic drink on the rocks means consuming it with ice cubes added. Singer and actress Bette Midler said, "I grew up in the most pristine environment possible, Hawaii, where it is sacrilege to leave your garbage on the ground." French historian Jules Michelet wrote, "The historian's first duties are sacrilege and the mocking of false gods. They are his indispensable instruments for establishing the truth." This last sentence contained an unusual usage of sacrilege, because it gave the word a positive spin. Here's one last quote where sacrilege is once again used in a negative way. American writer and advocate for the protection of wilderness Sigurd F. Olson wrote, "At times on quiet waters one does not speak aloud, but only in whispers, for then all noise is sacrilege." This is the favorite word of my viewer Kumar Swami MC433, incorrigible. An incorrigible person or incorrigible behavior is impossible to change, reform or correct. The word incorrigible comes from the Latin word incorrigibilis, which literally translates to not correctable. The opposite also exists, corrigible, which means correctable or capable of being set right. Albert Einstein said, "It gives me great pleasure indeed to see the stubbornness of an incorrigible nonconformist warmly acclaimed." American novelist John Updike said, "Writers may be disreputable, incorrigible, early to decay or late to bloom, but they dare to go it alone." German philosopher Friedrich Nietzsche said, "The idealist is incorrigible. If he is thrown out of his heaven, he makes an ideal of his hell." English classical scholar and poet A.E. Housman said, "In every American there is an air of incorrigible innocence, which seems to conceal a diabolical cunning." After quoting so many people, it is fitting that I add the following quote. It's from American writer Joseph Epstein. He said, "I am not merely a habitual quoter, but an incorrigible one. I may as well face it, more quotacious than an old stock market ticker tape machine, except that you can't unplug me." Quotacious means tending to use a lot of quotations. I've certainly been quotacious in this video. Double whammy, clandestine, flummoxed, sacrilege, incorrigible. These are the 5 negative words I discussed in this video. Let me know your thoughts. I'm the English Nut. Bye for now.